Picture this, a glitzy penthouse in Chicago, all glass and gold, where the city's elites sip champagne like it's water. At the center of it all is Marcus Kane, a tech mogul worth billions, staring down a table of women he's invited to a twisted little game. And then there's me, Jasmine Carter, a 24-year-old barista from Inglewood, standing there in a borrowed dress, feeling like I wandered into the wrong movie. I'm holding a black credit card no limit. No rules just handed to me by a man who thinks he can buy the truth about human nature. The others at the table, they're laughing, whispering. What's a girl like her gonna do with that? Buy some knockoff purses and fried chicken. Their words hit like a slap, but I grip that card, my hands steady, my heart racing, because I know something they done. This isn't about money. It's about proving them wrong. Marcus wasn't always this cynical. He built his empire from nothing, a kid from the South Side who coded his way to the top. But love burned him bad twice. First, his college sweetheart ditched him when his startup tanked. Then his fiancée drained his accounts with fake art deals, leaving him with a penthouse full of ghosts and a heart full of doubt. Everyone wanted something: his cash, his name, his power. So he dreamed up this experiment. Give 4 women unlimited credit cards for 3 days, step back, and see what they do. There was Claire Monroe, an actress whose face lit up billboards, always chasing the next headline. Then Rachel Vega, a corporate lawyer who'd sell her soul for a corner office. And Lila Stone, an influencer whose life was one big Instagram filter. Me? I was the wild card, the girl who poured his coffee one night at a diner, told him his tie was lopsided, and didn't care who he was. That's why I'm here, standing in a room that smells like money and judgment. The first day, the others don't waste a second. Claire's on Michigan Avenue, cameras flashing as she drops 6 figures on diamonds and a custom dress from Milan. Rachel's wiring funds to political consultants, buying her way into a new lobbying firm she calls Vega Vision. Lila's renting out a rooftop club, popping champagne for her 1 million followers, captioning it "Living the Dream." Me? I'm in Englewood, unloading groceries from a van: rice, beans, fresh apples for a food pantry that's been empty too long. I buy paint and lumber for a community center where kids can feel safe, toys for a shelter, and yeah, 200 hot dogs for a block party that makes the whole street laugh. Marcus's assistant, Ethan, tracks every purchase, and when he reads mine out loud, Marcus almost chokes on his whiskey. Hot dogs, he says, but there's a flicker in his eyes, like he's seeing something he didn't expect. By day 2, the claws come out. At Lila's rooftop party, Claire pulls up my purchases on her phone, smirking. She's using a black card like it's food stamps, she says, and the crowd roars. Rachel leans in, her voice like ice. You can dress up a barista, but she's still just that. The next night, at a gala, they go harder. Claire takes the mic, all smiles, and says, some of us build empires. Others, well, they buy hot dogs. The room laughs, and I feel my face burn, but I lift my chin, lock eyes with Marcus across the room. He's not laughing. He looks unsettled. Then the headlines hit. Barista scams billionaire's card for clout. Claire and Rachel fed lies to the press, twisting my donations into a publicity stunt. Photos of me with kids at the center smiling, real get spun as staged. Even Marcus wavers, cornering me in his kitchen, a newspaper between us. Tell me this isn't true, he says, voice low, heavy. I stare at him, hurt cutting deeper than their insults. You think I'd steal from kids? From people like my mom, who died because she couldn't afford chemo? I slide the card across the counter. Keep it. I don't need your doubt. I walk out, the door slamming behind me. Marcus doesn't let it go. He digs deeper, and Ethan uncovers the truth. Claire paid a photographer to tail me. Rachel fed half-truths to a tabloid. They wanted me gone, out of jealousy, out of fear I'd steal their spotlight. At a charity gala, Marcus takes the stage, holding up their emails, their contracts. This woman you laughed at, he says, voice like thunder, fed kids, paid medical bills, built a future for people you'll never know. Claire's face goes white. Rachel stammers. The crowd gasps as their lies collapse. But I'm not there to see it. I'm back in Englewood, taping paper stars to a wall for a kid's play, glitter on my hands, laughter in the air. Marcus finds me there, steps into the center, and says, I was wrong. You showed me what real looks like. I look at him, guarded. but he hands me a folder, the proof that clears my name. Respect, I say, almost to myself. That's worth more than your card. We start working together, not in penthouses, but in that worn-out center, painting walls, setting up scholarships for kids like me. The tabloids call it a scandal. Englewood calls it justice. Marcus says it was never about money, it was about finding someone who saw him, not his billions. And me? I learned that kindness isn't weakness, it's power. So, what would you do with a card like that? Chase fame, or build something real? Drop a word below: justice, kindness, whatever hits you. Share this if it made you think, because this world's got enough Claire and Rachel's. It needs more people who'd buy the hot dogs.